Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to my reaction channel. I'm Lou and I'm here to do a review of All Stars 5 episode 4 with Carty. Hi Aaron.
Hello. Obviously, I'm not looking my glamorous self today.
I was going to say you're not in drag.
I need to put a disclaimer out. So I had laser eye surgery on Thursday, so I can't wear any makeup or anything by my eyes. So you've got boy drag today. You know, I've got my Ivy Park on. You know, got a little bit of representation going on.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Our queens also did a little bit of boy drag in the challenge, so
they did. So in honor of the very, very cute boy drags that I'm sure we'll get onto. This is my little homage to them.
Good. All right. So the episode. What did you think?
Oh, do you know what? Overall, there was definitely highs and lows in this episode, and I think that's the first time we've really had that. I think the other episodes have been so consistent, and at least got so much anti. This one had a bit of a dip, and I actually think it was the main challenge.
I completely agree with you. It felt flat to me, like no one did amazingly well. Let's just say that.
Totally. But I need to get your thoughts, because as soon as I watched this, I was like, firstly I want to watch your reaction video. Obviously, we're only now doing that. But what did you think in the workroom when they were pulling out the lipsticks?
Well, that's my first point. I was living for it because I wanted to see Shea's reaction. And she gave me what I wanted. She was like, I'm coming for blood. Like I was really happy with that.
These girls have no idea the kind of game I can play.
And also, I had to pull Mayhem up on that, because remember in episode 1 when Jujubee voted for Mayhem and she said, "Girl, it isn't personal," and she gave a very valid reason as to why she voted for her. And she was like, "No, it's it's personal. You're this is an attack." And then the first thing she said to Shea was, "Girl, it's nothing personal." I was thinking, that's a strategy.
It's like it's hypocrisy at its finest. It really is.
It is. This was a Mayhem episode, so I'm sure we'll talk about it more.
Yeah, it was.
But you know what? Those queens are scared. They're scared. Instead of focusing on their charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, they're having to play a strategy because they know Shea is such a strong performer.
Completely.
It brings us on quite nicely to the teams for this week's challenge. Rue knew what she was doing there, putting Shea and Alexis together.
That's strategy at its finest, I swear. But you know what? In a way, I was thinking when Alexis and Shea got put together, what do they say? Keep your friends close, enemies closer.
So true.
You know? And I actually thought that those two together would work really, really well.
Oh, see, I disagree. I actually thought, and Shea kind of said it. She said, we've got a job to do. I'm going to be professional. I'm going to get this job done, and then we'll deal with what we need to deal with. But I know what Alexis is like in challenges now, and I think she completely she kept jumping in, interrupting Shea. I think that team probably had the only winning formula if they would have worked together more. And obviously, because of last week, they were obviously on tenterhooks. But I must say, Team 1, Mayhem and India, as soon as those names were announced, I laughed and I was like, bottom two, straight away.
Did you say that straight away?
I did, I was like, bottom 2, yeah. But then, having Blair, Cracker and Jujubee together, I thought, this is going to be comedy gold. This is going to, the iron's going to be so hot on this. It's going to be jokes left, right and centre.
Strong team.
I did, but then probably too strong for Blair. She kind of faded right into the background then.
I was going to say that, their one for me was probably the best one. For me, it's because Miss Cracker sold it, because she's a comedy queen. But so is Jujubee. Jujubee was funny. Blair just kind of was just there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even though no one did really, really amazing in the challenge, they still, for me, that team won it.
Have any comments about the accusation that you are the drag you fixer?
Drag you fixer? Well, absolutely not.
For sure. But don't you think, wow, when they were flipping to the boys, at first I didn't click. I really didn't click at first. I was obviously writing notes and then obviously watching as well. And then I was like, oh, who's that? And I was thinking, oh my God, it's Blair, who basically looked like Barbie's Ken. So perfect.
Blair looks so... I paused my reaction for a minute and I was like, I think I've got a little bit of a crush. I genuinely do. Like, I was just a bit, I had to pause. I had to open my shirt and I was like, I'm getting really hot right now. This is like, okay.
Yeah, all right. And Shea with the freckles and everything. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think with these challenges as well, like we just said, the challenge was a bit weak, but I very much think it was how the queens executed it. And I kind of feel like if this was a challenge in a normal season, they would have given more.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah, I think in All Stars they held back a bit. The one thing I did really love actually was Mayhem's look, because it was just such an over-the-top drag Nene Leakes.
Yeah, I was thinking Nene Leakes as well.
Yeah, she definitely sold the look. It was just so unfortunate to have her and India. I mean, it just fell flat on its face. I just thought, India does that face one more time, I think I'm just gonna throw myself off a bridge.
I think they started strong. Like, as soon as it started, like, their scene, like, I saw India with the boobs, with the hair, I was like, this actually might be good. But then it just didn't work.
It didn't, and I don't think any of them are actors, so they weren't able to play off each other. You know, there wasn't enough improv for them to go. And I think they obviously had that donut lick gag set up, like, this is what we'll do. It
just wasn't funny. It was a bit weird. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, I genuinely don't know whether to laugh, cry, or just like, what?
Definitely. But you're right. I think overall, the performances were just boring. But you know what? Two things we haven't spoken about in these reviews yet, and I think that it really popped up this time, was actually the girls in the workroom getting their makeup ready, talking about kind of their DUIs and problems that they've had in the past. And I was really shocked at Mayhem's story actually.
You know what? For me, it was probably my favourite part of the episode, because I love when the queens open up about stuff like that. Like, everyone makes mistakes, right? Even celebrities make mistakes. Like, people make mistakes, and to own it and to share that story, it kind of made me feel a bit closer to Mayhem. I was like, okay, I'm getting to see a bit of a real person there. Like, you've made mistakes and you're owning up to it and sharing that. And the whole police story where they like stripped her down and took, I was gobsmacked. I was literally
can you imagine?
horrible.
I mean, getting out of drag, on your own is horrendous sometimes. So just imagine doing that in a police station with everyone else who'd been arrested as well. Like, you would never, and I think that's a big difference, and you'd never get that in the UK,
no,
not at all.
Not at all.
But you're right, and she definitely said, she didn't open up on her season, and I think it was a real weak point for her. So it was a shame. I've never really been connected too much to Mayhem, and that story did open it up a little bit more for me. There's a lot of context behind maybe how she is sometimes.
I was critiquing her through most of the episode, saying about how I wasn't liking how she was coming across, and in her confessional she was just sounding like a bit of a bitch. But then when she said that story, I let go of that a little bit, and I was like, there's a real hurt person there, and that might explain why she acts like she does sometimes. She's had a rough time of it. So that kind of takes us nicely onto the runway. I have to be honest with you about something. I thought it was camel couture, and I was like, what does camel couture mean? And I was like, I don't get it. Then I realised it was camouflage. So,
oh my god, camel couture? What is camel couture? That's not even a thing, Lewis.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, what does camel couture mean? Like, what are they going to do? Like, dress up in camels? I genuinely didn't know. And then it clicked.
What would that be? Yeah, what would that be? Yeah, oh my god. Do you know what? I actually think that may have been a better concept, because I was so underwhelmed with all of the queens' looks. And I don't know why. None of them really hit that couture point. I think Shea's was probably the closest, but it still didn't get it. So whose was your favourite though?
I had 3 favourite looks. And they might be quite shocking to you. Alexis.
Yeah.
I thought that was a standout. India.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
And Cracker.
Okay, yeah.
Those were my top 3 looks, I think. Shea coming in 4th, because she was wearing blue as well, and blue's my favourite colour. I just thought those 3, for me, they're the ones that I reacted most to when they came out. I was like, oh, like, wow, Bethany. Like, what about you?
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I had a note for all of them because I actually rewatched these because I thought they couldn't have been that bad. Was I paying attention?
Yeah.
But yeah, so some critiques for them as well. Jujubee's I absolutely loved. I think it was so nice and elegant. However, I think if she had a massive like big hood, like even bigger than this, if she had like a really nice big hood, like arrow hood, you know, that could have really set the look off. And Michelle even said it needed a little something extra. I think that could have worked. Cracker was giving me massive Madonna vibes with that whole look. Dare I say, probably pedestrian Madonna.
Oh, pedestrian Madonna.
I'm so sorry. I did think that. That was my first thought. That's like, oh, the look was lovely together, but it just, again, it was just missing something there. Something.
Yeah.
Blair, I really liked the concept of actually her camouflage. She was a tree. She was camouflaging herself in a tree. But it just wasn't executed just well enough, and it needed more of a high fashion look there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Shea's you could probably see on like Paris Fashion Week, I thought.
Yeah.
Just about, if you had to. I'm a bit biased there. Now Alexis's, I thought it's the same silhouette she gives. If it's not a bodysuit, it's these big dresses. And that's why I'm knocking her down on it. It was lovely and it was good to see her in something else.
I thought her makeup though was on point. Like I was fascinated by the makeup more than the outfit. I was like, wow, she spent a lot of time on that. Like
she did.
It looked good.
Nice. Maybe I'm not giving her enough credit. However, India, I disagreed with all of the judges' comments and yours. I thought that was awful. It was so awful. And actually, if you watch it again. Watch her walking it. She's not selling it. She's not giving us confidence. I don't feel like she feels good in herself. I will give her the extra points that her makeup was. I've been, slagging off her makeup, this whole season. It's the same thing from from her season. Yeah. This one was different, and it was nice. It was so refreshing to see something different. But
and I think that's what stood out. I think that's what stood out for me, that she'd done something different finally,
Finally, Christ.
Finally,
yeah. So the hair and makeup, amazing. Can we cut the head off and put it on something else? Because that outfit, put the picture up, but that outfit, I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't feeling it. However, I was in stitches when Mayhem said, I thought we were in the top. I was like, if this was a court, objection. And I was like, denied.
Yeah.
Denied.
No, come on. They must have known that it was going to be them two.
You thought you were... Probably, there's a gift that I need, and that is Jujubee's side eye when Mayhem is talking to the group. I'm like... And I knew a confessional was coming because I was just like, are you kidding?
Yeah. So, do you think then that the lipstick decision when people were deliberating, do you think it was unanimous? Because we didn't see who everyone picked, obviously. Do you think it was unanimous that everyone picked Mayhem?
Oh, good question. Maybe it was because I feel like they all did pick up on you've given up. And India, for her faults, she is fighting. She is fighting. Like Miss Cracker say, if you want to bottom your way to the top, I am listening.
completely. You saw that fire in India. And she might have been a bit delusional, but she thought she did really well. And she did better than I thought she was going to do, but it still wasn't good enough. But she still had that fire, like, I'm here to win. I can be in the bottom till the end, like Miss Cracker said,
Okay, so again, the lip sync assassin was revealed. We still had enough time to go and get a cup of tea. I walked the dogs, sat down again, did my eye drops, and the screen was at her knees. There's so much anticipation. But Morgan was a surprise to me. Yeah, really surprised.
Can I be really honest with you? And you'll see in my reaction. When the screen lifted up, I was like, oh, who is it? I genuinely didn't know who it was. Because she looked really good. I just didn't recognise her.
It was. She spent some money. On that outfit.
Yeah, she has. And she's a fierce lip syncer.
She is a fierce lip syncer. And I did think, when I was watching the lip sync between her and Miss Cracker, I was thinking, this is a double act made. I'll see the show. the comedy.
Completely.
When I saw Morgan skip over she was skipping over Miss Cracker's like flip rounds. I was just like, this is brilliant. It was comedy gold.
They totally came together and had fun. Like I said in my reaction, right, that lip sync, one of them's got to win it, but they were having fun. And it was my favourite lip sync so far, I think. I was on the floor laughing at both of them. They were just, they were killing it for me. I loved it. They were killing it.
They were. It's one of those things, again, when we talk about the lip sync song, I was so happy for that song. I was like, yes, there's some energy in this. They're going to explode.
Completely,
and the difference is they're not lip syncing for their lives. So that I think you're really seeing that. They're lip syncing for... They're not giving it everything, but you know, they're holding back a bit. But you know, they looked the same. You know, they could be a double act. That was fantastic. The gag of the season, which I did not see coming. Like I didn't know who was going to win the lip sync. I was like, this is tied. This is tied. But to then have them both win with the chance of them both going home, I was like, oh, go on, send them bitches home. I was ready for it.
That would have been the moment of the season if that had happened and they both went.
I think Mayhem voted for herself.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing. And I tell you why, because the shot that they did, the camera shot, it looked like she had taken the one from the bottom, which was her name. Okay. I locked onto that and I just had this feeling. And I'm pretty sure we're both going to be right.
Yeah. But you know what? Honestly, if she voted for yourself, bye, bitch. Like, you have to go. Like, come on. Do not give up the fight. That's the one thing. Everyone, the queens, Rue, the judges are telling you, do not give up the fight because you're your own worst enemy.
Completely. And I mean, in terms of Mayhem going home, I'm not going to say I was sad because I wasn't really liking her this season. And we had that moment in the workroom where she opened up and stuff, but she needed to go.
Lewis, I promise I'll be back in my full-on Beyoncé gear for next week for you. I know you've missed it, but remember your promise. Finale, we're doing a Gaga and Beyoncé, maybe a telephone-inspired finale where hopefully we can be together and do it.
Yes, I am definitely 100% for this. I am ready for it. I tell you now. But I need you back in drag next week, okay? I need you back in drag.
I'll be there.
Okay? Alright guys, so thank you for watching our review of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 5 Episode 4. What did you think of the episode? Did you like it? Did the right person go home? I want to hear your opinions. So down in the comments section, comment and we'll reply to you when we can. Did you agree with us? Did you not agree with us? Aaron, do you think they agreed with us?
I don't think they do. I think there's going to be some comments below.
Okay. Well, let's see, guys. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe, like this video as well, or dislike it. I'm not going to hold it against you. And we will see you next week. So that's goodbye from me.
And that's goodbye from me. Bye.
And we'll see you next week. Bye. Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao, bella.